an outstanding team. Not a lot of glitzy players, so people tend to overlook them. But they might be the real definition of a team. A bunch of guys working together. They like each other. And, of course, Leonard Hamilton sets the tone for all of that.
We are ready to go from Coral Gables as Rodney Miller Jr. controls the tap. And here comes Miami for the first time to start the ball game.
And, of course, the Seminoles are open into man-to-man. Everybody is about the same. They're long, they're athletic. It's really hard to get to the basket against these guys.
They switch everything. You check out the Miami starting lineup. Chris Likes, McGusty, and Vasiljevic. We told you the big three guards as it stays with Likes and the Canes with 6 to shoot.
And that's the problem for Chris Likes or anybody, really. You get past somebody on the perimeter, and you got the rest of those guys to deal with inside.
A trap in the corner on Sam Wardenberg, and he takes a timeout with 4 seconds left on the shot clock. We'll be right back to Coral Gables.
Kid, obviously, there it was because they had no chance to score where he was standing and how he was possessing the ball.
Into Wardenberg, and he is blocked by Raekwon Gray, and 1 second left on an unending first possession.
See, in the situation there, you just take the turnover. It's a dead ball turnover. They can't get out on the fast break, and you just try the next time.
A shot clock violation, and you burn the timeout.
That's what the Florida State defense will do to you. And if you're Miami, the key is, I think, you have to attack early. You can't get to the end of that shot clock.
Leonard Hamilton still going with what he calls a small ball starting lineup because Malik Osborne is the starting big. Neither of the 7-footers in there to start for the Seminoles.
This is a Florida State lineup that can accomplish a lot of things. They've got guys, just about everybody can drive the ball to the basket. They've got good three-point shooters. This can be a dangerous offensive team if they can get rolling.
They're coming off a 4-point win over Virginia back in Tallahassee.
Obviously not a lot of offense in that game, but there never is when you play the Cavaliers in there. Raekwon Gray. That is what you call a mismatch.
95-pound difference between those two.
Yeah, Gray 6'8", 260. Chris Likes 5'7", 165.
Who would you rather be in that case?
Well, Likes got the ball, so advantage that time to Chris Likes. I think if I have the ball and Chris Likes is anywhere near me, I'm giving it away.
He is fun to watch, and he connects from long range to start the score.
See, and you just can't relax against him. He's dribbling the ball, and you think, okay, he's going to set something up. No.
Well, here's the game we mentioned on Wednesday in Tallahassee. You said it. Not a lot of points, but beautiful defense as Raekwon Gray scores.
Well, they forced 18 turnovers. They had 10 steals. You can see Virginia shot the ball very poorly from three-point range. And I'm telling you now, these guys can get after it.
9 seconds to get it over for Cam McGusty, dealing with pressure from MJ Walker. And a foul goes against Walker.
You can't play this kind of aggressive defense without committing some fouls, and Florida State does put their opponents on the free throw line. In fact, in ACC play, Florida State's opponents have made more free throws than Florida State has attempted. But that's Leonard Hamilton plays 10 guys. You can afford to play that kind of defense.
It's Gray on Likes again. Likes wanted it back from Miller. Cam McGusty, you said he's aggressive attacking, and now another foul goes on MJ Walker. So 2 fouls just over 2 minutes in on a guy averaging 11 a game.
And I think they ruled that as a shooting foul. No, they didn't. Okay. I thought Walker, he knows he's supposed to go to the bench, but if it's a shooting foul, he's got to stay out there for the first one.
The junior checks out, and Anthony Polite checks in, coming off a great game against Virginia. McGusty hits on a long 2.
Now, McGusty can shoot the 3, obviously, but I think he's much better driving to the basket and into mid-range. I think you're going to have to settle for some mid-range today because Florida State, it's hard to get to the basket against them.
Gray trying to get to the basket. He gave it up to Malik Osborne, the Rice transfer, and a foul in the post on Sam Wardenberg.
And Cameron McGusty, he's a guy, when he gets the ball, he is looking to shoot it. He doesn't have a lot of assists, but that's because he's a scorer.
And you talk to Jim Larinaga, and he says, we don't have a lot of assists on this team. We're playing a lot of one-on-one. He says it's a way they've never really played before, as Wardenberg blocks Osborne.
And that's the type of players they have. You've got Chris Likes, who can create his own shot. Vasilovic, McGusty, and Wardenberg is a guy, he's the best shot blocker on a team that doesn't really block a lot of shots. He had a tough game in their last time out, but otherwise he has had a really fine season.
Likes takes it away. Blocked by Forrest. They go crashing into the stanchion. Likes is slow to get up. 5-on-4 for the Seminoles as Likes tries to grimace back into the play.
He went into that stanchion, but I think the problem was he may have turned his ankle.
Right leg, perhaps.
Yeah, the right leg gets, and Forrest is a guy, I mean, Forrest, what can Forrest not do on a basketball court? I don't know that there's really an answer to that question. He can do everything.
This Miami team is already dealing with so many injuries, like we told you.
They can't afford an injury to Chris Likes. But it always hurts a little bit more on the defensive end, Mike.
The lob is not there for Dominik Olejniczuk, the 7-footer from Poland.
So not only does Florida State have a lot of bodies they can put in there, but they change their look and their tempo when they bring Olejniczuk in. Look at that defense.
Swarming for the first 18 seconds and a takeaway. Devin Vassell lays it in and blew a tire. Trent Forrest just picked up his shoe. 5-on-4 at the other end, and Likes buries another.
Again, Likes is a guy you cannot give him any room, particularly dribbling in transition like that. That is an excellent play by Likes. You want to get going before the defense gets. That's just what Miami is going to deal with all year because they're not getting those guys back.
Well, Chris Likes is a guy that was able to play through that hard fall he took on the Trent Forrest chase down block. He's buried a couple of threes so far.
Now, we talked before the game about their big three on the offensive end, Vasilovic and Likes and McGusty, and if they're going to pull the upset today, all three of those guys have to have big games.
That group has combined for all 8 so far.
So the Seminoles now have twice tried to lob it into Olejniczuk, and they have been unsuccessful each time. On that occasion, they hit the rim with the pass.
Swarming defense again, and the ball squirted to Vasilovic. Off the window.
That was really a poised play by Vasilovic. There was a real scramble going on. But Vasilovic is a guy who's played a lot of minutes here at Miami. He's played a lot of international minutes. Guy who knows how to play.
Raekwon Evans, the backup point guard, sticks a 3.
That's what we're talking about with Florida State. There's nobody on that team, maybe with the exception of MJ Walker, that you would say is a great three-point shooter, but they've got a lot of guys who are more than adequate, and Evans is one of them.
Miami by 3, 2-4 in the ACC, coming off a loss at NC State on Wednesday. And a tie-up will give it to Florida State.
Vasilovic that time got himself involved a little too much with the dribbling. This is a tough play. This is the play before where he took the ball and went right up over the big guy. If you're going to dribble the ball against Florida State, you have to take it at the basket. And when they stop you, you've got to get rid of it quickly.